So guys, requirement to install the domain controller. So we must have domain controller. Okay. So what is the requirement? Let us try to understand. We need physical or virtual server with Windows Server installed. So we have already created one virtual machine and we have installed Windows operating system. Okay. And it should be in work group. I will show you. Okay. The computer should be in work group and server should be connected to the network. So server connectivity should be there, guys. So for connecting the server to the network, we need to configure the IP address. We need to configure the preferred DNS and DNS service gets installed. So guys, this DNS service, as I told you, this DNS will provide the unique name to the domain. Okay, and this DNS service, it will get installed with ADDS. So to make any computer domain controller or DC, we need to install Active Directory domain service. So when we install the Active Directory ADDS, this DNS service will get installed automatically. Okay, and it is also called as DNS server. So guys, remember one point, we want to make one server as domain controller. So we need to install Active Directory domain service. So when we install ADDS, DNS server will be installed on the same machine. So this machine, it is called as domain controller, and the same machine, it is called as DNS server as well, because this DNS server is also getting installed with ADDS. So it is performing two roles by default. One is domain controller and it is also your DNS server as well. We will see, okay, what is this DNS server in our advanced classes as well. As of now, just try to remember this point. When you install ADDS, the DNS server gets installed and this server will act as domain controller and it is also act as DNS server. Okay, so DNS server gets installed with ADDS. It is also called as DNS server. IP address and preferred DNS will be same. So let us say you are configuring the IP address 10.0.0.1 to this domain controller. Okay, it is having these options: IP address, subnet mask, default gateway. We have configured IP address 10.0.0.1 and we have one option here, preferred DNS server, because DNS server is already installed on this server. This server is acting as DNS server as well. And the IP address is 10.0.0.1. So IP address of this computer is 10.0.0.1. So the preferred DNS will be 10.0.0.1. Okay, you need to remember this point. IP address and preferred DNS IP address should be same on the domain controller. So we will configure 10.0.0.1 IP address and preferred DNS and install ADDS manually. Then only this machine will act as domain controller, or then only this machine will act as server. So guys, as we have discussed, installing operating system is not enough. We need to install the ADDS to make this server domain controller. So let us see how to install the Active Directory domain Active ADDS service.